Hey sis, come sit with me for a minute. This is where we talk about healing, identity, and patterns. And we remind ourselves that becoming takes grace. Sis, can we talk? Hey sis, before we get into today's episode, I want to take a moment to share something really special with you. My new book, Becoming Her, a healing devotional journal for women, is now available in paperback on Amazon. This is a 66-page, 30-day, faith-centered healing journey created for the woman who is ready to slow down, reflect honestly, release old versions of herself, rebuild her identity through God, and become whole. Inside the journal, you'll find scripture, reflection, application, journal prompts, affirmations, and prayers to help guide you through your healing and becoming process one day at a time. This is more than a devotional. It's a return to yourself. It's a space to heal. It's a reminder that you are not behind. You are not broken beyond repair, and you are still becoming the woman God created you to be. You can find it now on Amazon by searching Becoming Her, Cleotha Ellich. And I also want to stay tuned. I also want you to stay tuned because the second edition of Crown of Courage, Inspiring Stories of Courage, Confidence, and Leadership is coming soon. That one is for the girl of all ages, the young girl, the teenage girl, and the grown woman who still needs to remember her courage. So sis, grab your copy of Becoming Her. Begin your healing journey. Stay connected because there is so much more on the way. Now let's get to today's episode that challenged me. For a long time, I thought alignment simply meant my mind, my body, and my spirit were working together. And while I still believe that's true, I realized something deeper. Every single day, whether we realize it or not, we're agreeing with something. We're agreeing with a thought, a belief, a memory, a fear, a dream, or even a promise from God, right? The question isn't whether you're in agreement. The question is, what are you in agreement with? Think about it. If every morning I wake up and I agree with the thought, I am not enough, eventually I'll live like I'm not enough. If I agree with rejection, I'll expect rejection. If I agree with fear, I'll make fearful decisions. If I agree with shame, I'll hide the very gifts God gave me. Agreement isn't just something we say, it's something we live. I had a moment this week where I recognized something in myself. I couldn't fully align with my purpose while my attention was divided. Then another thought came to me. I can't be aligned with my purpose if I'm still aligned with my past hurt, past pain, disappointment, past betrayal, past heartache. Not because those things didn't happen. They did. Not because they didn't matter. They mattered to me deeply. But because I realized something, if my emotions remained attached to where I've been, it becomes difficult to fully walk into where God is leading me. Over time, I've learned that whatever has an agreement begins directing my life. If I agree with fear, fear leads. If I agree with insecurity, insecurity decides. If I agree with other people's opinion, the voices become louder than God's. But when I agree with God's truth, everything begins to shift. Not overnight, but consistently shift. Because my thoughts begin changing, my decisions begin changing, my habits begin changing, and eventually my life changes. Here's something I've been thinking about. Sometimes the enemy doesn't need to control your life. He only needs you in agreement. Agreement that you'll never change, or that you're too old, or that you missed your opportunity, or that your mistakes define you. Agreement that your identity is your trauma. But God has been inviting you into a different agreement all along. Imagine waking up tomorrow and choosing a new agreement. I agree that I am loved. How about I agree that I am growing? I agree that I am healing, or that healing is possible. I agree that my past prepared me but does not define me. I agree that God is still writing my story. I agree that my purpose is greater than my pain. Can you imagine how differently you would think? How differently you would even speak or live? So today, I want to leave you with 3 questions. What have you been agreeing with lately? Is that agreement moving you towards your purpose or keeping you connected to your past? What new agreement is God inviting you to make today? Because remember, every day is a new day. Because here's what I've also learned. Healing isn't just about what you let go of. It's also about what you begin agreeing with. So sis, maybe today isn't the day you change everything. Maybe today is simply the day you change your agreement. Because the life God is calling you to live begins with one decision: to stop agreeing with what has been holding you back and start agreeing with the truth about who He says you are. And until next time, sis, keep becoming, keep growing, and remember, you cannot be aligned with your purpose if you're still